Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. In the last episode, Naho decided to fulfill an obligation to attend and do an interview at Sayaka's internet radio show. And, well, Sachiko was apparently also decided to show up there as well and pretty much cause trouble for everybody involved. And after this incident, Naho went home, found out that Kibiki and Taguchi left without her, and, well, that's pretty much has sent Naho completely over the edge, and she decided to drag Sayaka along into her downward spiral, and long story short, Sayaka and Naho are now here in Heavenly Host, with Sayaka trying to find Naho, and Naho is probably doing everything in her power to try to find Kibiki right this very minute. So, yeah. The whole disaster that is this group's tragedy is pretty much beginning right now. And soon enough, a whole host of other people are going to start following. All thanks to a little blog that Naho decided to write right before she left. So, let's go ahead and just watch the rest of this tragedy unfold, shall we? Now, let's see what I can find in this storage room that I found myself in. Because I'm in the underground bomb shelter right now. Hell of a place to wind up, all things considered. Although, since I'm here, I'm wondering if I will run into Yoshikazu somewhere. Because right when this chapter started, it looked like I was down here, and he managed to capture Sayaka. Before, he started beating her to death with a hammer. Basically, hammer time being hammer time. Anyway, I'm not seeing anything in here, so maybe I should go ahead and move to another room. Like maybe down here. Huh? The wall? What the? It's crumbling. Well, shit, I guess we're not going that way after all. That was close. I can't get through. Mommy, save me. The path here is completely blocked with rubble. There's no way through. I'm pretty sure Sachiko's got enough pent-up rage and sadism in her internal soul to where she could just punch right through all that rubble if she wants to. Well, I guess that's the door to the storehouse. Kagome, Kagome, bird in the basket. When, oh, when will you come out? Will it be in the evening of dawn? Crane and turtle have fallen. So who is it that stands behind? Wait a minute, I know this chant. It's from the last segment of Blood Covered. What am I? Am I hearing things? Yes, you are, Sayaka. That's a child's voice, isn't it? And yes, it's a child's voice, and he's getting louder because you won't shut up. Maybe this really is an elementary school after all. Well, I'm hearing the voice coming from my right ear, so maybe I need to go this way? I guess it's not here. Stop it, please. Is it gonna be like with chapter 1 where at a certain point I'm just gonna have to pass over a certain section of the map repeatedly until something happens that progresses the story forward? There really isn't much of anything for me to look at here. Which I guess makes sense because this is a bomb shelter. What is it?
照明が瞬いてる。目がおかしくなりそうな通路の先に今気のせい
The lights flickered, and I could swear I saw something up on the path ahead. Hopefully just my eyes playing tricks on me. Please?
誰かいますか
Is somebody there? Either it's the spirit of a really old guy or the spirit of a younger person doing a good impression of a really old guy. Either way, he's a jackass because he's orange. That one encounter gave me 24% darkening? Holy shit. Going down here was probably a mistake. Maybe. The door is sealed firmly shut. There's no way to open it. Aww. Oh wait, never mind. You're not a boy, so no entry for you. The door is sealed firmly shut. There's no way to open it. Or maybe you're actually, or maybe you have a rebellious streak. Well, do ya? Is this a bathroom? Yes, it is. It's a place where we wash up and relieve ourselves in civilized society. When bushes and other natural foliage aren't present. I'm in like a cave and there's a bathroom here? Well, it's certainly better than just going in any random corner, don't you think? Because if enough people did that over time, there'd be a lot of shit everywhere. No matter how I looked at it, nothing about this place seemed like an elementary school in any way. But there were lights on the ceiling and support beams to prevent cave-ins, so it certainly wasn't a naturally formed cavern either. I mean, there was even an indoor plumbing down here. I see a corpse! No, thank you. I actually did have to go, but there's a limit to how dirty and disgusting a bathroom stall can get before I refuse to close myself in there. As long as you're not Yuka levels of stubborn when it comes to this sort of stuff, I will tolerate it. I guess I just have to hold it. I would have laughed if just you telling yourself that you're going to hold it somehow brought up your darkening. But alas, I guess the game isn't going to give me that much of a low-hanging fruit of a joke to giggle over now, will it? There are skeletal remains here. It's small child. Maybe she was hiding? I didn't know it's a he. I mean she. There's a name tag tacked to her jacket. Well, I guess that would do it. Renaissance Elementary School. Mina Nishio. Okay, that brought darkening up a couple points. Why? Save me. Help me, please. It hurts. Please stop. I could hear the voices of children who seemed to be in pain or distress. Up, that went up 27%. Okay, let's just get out of here. And away we go. So, unless we find a whole new section of the bomb shelter we've never seen before, there really isn't a whole lot that we'll be able to find here, I think. So maybe this whole segment is going to actually be pretty short. It's a half-decomposed body. Based on the uniform, this is almost certainly a female student, but age is much harder to determine. Her name tag identifies her as senior high, though. Matsukaze Prefectural High School. Tomomi Isumura. We're almost at 30%, ladies and gentlemen. The door is thoroughly sealed. There's no way to get inside. Well, better for you that you don't go in there. I don't think your poor little mind would be able to handle all the lovely horrors that that room has. So there's a hallway here that I guess leads nowhere. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe it's there either to provide me a key item of some kind I might need, or perhaps another scare involving a malevolent spirit that will raise my darkening up another notch. Well, more than a notch, really, but... Let's play, come get me, I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. I could hear children calling for me, hiding and goading me to find them. Well, we're up 30% now. Hey, you're a fresh-looking one. There's a recently deceased corpse here, but based on the uniform and various accessories adorning the body, this would appear to have been a female junior or senior high school student. Her student name ID tag is still fully visible. Karasuyama High School, Shiko Usaki. You know, you're taking the whole finding random corpses lying around thing surprisingly well, because literally everybody else I've ever seen in any corpse party game upon finding a corpse has always reacted in some noticeable way. An understandable way. Are you ready yet? Not yet. I could hear the voices of children playing. 3%. Okay, let's go down here. Getting awfully close to the last segments of the map here, so. No more! You may proceed, you may proceed. What narrow path is this? It is the path of the heavenly host. God, what is this place? Where even am I? Yeah, you're really going up pretty quick. You are particularly susceptible to darkening, I see. So I wonder if I should even be exploring randomly like this. Might not be such a good idea. I could hear children laughing. Among the voices, I heard the sound of a door opening somewhere nearby. Yeah, I don't like the sound of doors opening. Wait, the death room? Because I thought the death room was great on the map a little bit ago when I saw it, but now it's not. There's a fully decomposed corpse here. What are you talking about? That thing doesn't look fully decomposed at all. She's wearing a skirt, so it seems safe to assume this was a female student in life. Her name tag confirms this. Shobu University Middle School. Hinako Miguri. Excuse me. Who are you? There's a foul-smelling, rotten corpse here. Based on the uniform, it was probably a male high school student in life. He seems to have died sitting down, though he doesn't look very relaxed. There's a student ID name tag on his chest. Karasuyama High School. Yaoki Kamimizu. You know, why does every single student corpse in here seem to be always stuck in their uniforms and having their name tags on them? I mean, hasn't a single group of students actually tried this charm just in their casual clothes at some point? Or do they all literally just perform the charms at their schools? Because that seems... I don't know, I guess it's a little immersion breaking, but it's a really tiny nitpick. The door is sealed firmly shut. There's no way to open it. 43%. Alright, let's see what's down here. Well, I think that settles it then. We should go back to the death room. There's a recently deceased corpse here. Her hands are outstretched, as she were trying desperately to dig her way through the wall. There's a student ID name tag on her uniform. Kamoshiro Trade School, Seisuke Hagiwara. Alright, let's go here.
薄暗い洞窟の中でも明かりの全くない真っ暗闇の部屋を見つけた。
I didn't think this place could get any darker, but this room proved me wrong. It was completely and utterly devoid of all light.
中でピチャピチャ水滴が落ちて反響する音を聞く限りそれほど広い感じじゃない。
My only indication as to its size was the bloop bloop sound of dripping water from somewhere inside. Or is it blood? And based on that, on the echo, it didn't seem too big.
入りたくないけど、もしかしたらここにナホちゃんがいるかもしれない。
I was perfectly content to leave it at that, honestly. But I couldn't. Because I knew Naho might have been in there, seized with fear and panic.
あの子いつもクールだけど、さっきの様子だと、ナホちゃんも怖がっているのかも。怖くて震えているのかも。
She usually kept a cool head, sure. But I'd just seen what she looked like when she didn't, and it worried the hell out of me. So I had to know.
ナホちゃん？
Naho?
返事はなかった。水の落ちる音がうるさくて、人のいる気配は判別できない。
Not that I heard, anyway. That dripping wasn't very loud, but it echoed enough that it could conceivably obscure the sound of a person's voice.
部屋の外の淡い光が入るから、出口は中からでもよく見える。
As long as I kept the door to this room open, though, the pale light of the corridor would filter in, and I'd be able to see the exit.
出られずにパニックになる
That
ことは
is
ないと
until
思って、
hammer time
私
pops
は
up
部屋
and
の
closes
中ま
the
で
door,
入ってみる
right?
ことにした。
It may not have illuminated much, but at least I'd be able to find my way out in a pinch. So, I swallowed my fear and walked into the darkness.
やだ！
There's the flies. Ugh. Gross.
何この匂い。
What's that smell?
臭い。なんか腐ってる？
It stinks to high heaven. Something rotting in here?
やだ！何かこぼれた。足にかかっちゃったよ。
Ew, what spilled? It's all over my leg. Without thinking, I smacked my hand against my leg, as if trying to knock off whatever was stuck to it.
何これ？
What is this?
息ができないほど濃厚な鉄みたいな匂い。これ血の匂い。まさか。
The metallic smell was so thick that I almost couldn't breathe. Was it blood? Did I just wipe my blood onto my hand? No, it couldn't be. I think you're not going to like the room at all. If just a little bit of blood is enough to get you this worried.
なんだか太ももがかゆい。思わず指でかいてしまった。
Then again, I guess it's not really an overreaction. I got a sudden itch on my thigh, so I impulsively reached down and scratched it.
真っ暗でわからないけど、かいた指の腹にお米のような丸い小さな粒がついている。
And in doing so, a small, rice-sized bead stuck to the ball of my finger. But in this all-consuming darkness, I had no way to tell what it was. Then get to the light!
ペタペタして、本当にお米のようだ。
It felt an awful lot like a grain of rice, though, even smushing and smearing like one when I kneaded it between my thumb and forefinger.
何これ？皮膚？
What is this thing?
太ももの？
Skin?
やだ！
From my thigh? Crap, I hope not.
明るくなった。
The light. Told you you're not gonna like the room.
やだ！何この部屋！
Oh God, what is this place?
匂いが強烈なわけだ。部屋の四方の壁という壁、床という床に血しぶきのようなものが付着している。
The source of the horrible smell was suddenly clear. The room was absolutely drenched, from wall to wall and ceiling to floor, with blood and viscera.
どれだけたくさんの血液が飛び散れば、これだけの範囲を染めることができるのか。
How many gallons of blood must there have been to coat this entire room?
しかも乾ききっていない。つい最近この部屋は使われている。
And the worst part was, none of it was dry. It was all wet. It was all fresh. Lovely.
そこら中
That's
に
even
得
worse.
体の知れない肉片や骨っぽいものが転がっている。 一体どんな恐ろしいことが行われている部屋なのだろう。
There were indistinguishable chunks of flesh and bone everywhere. Just what kinds of twisted things was this room being used for? Oh, come on, just look at some of the instruments and tools and other shit in here and use your imagination. If you want to.
なんかさっきから太ももがかゆい。
I scratched my itching thigh again with my finger.
私はふと自分の足を見た。
Then I looked down at my legs.
全身の血が凍った。
And all at once, my blood ran cold. What?
かゆくて無意識にかいていた私の足に白い小さな虫がびっしりとついていた。
Oh dear, maggots. Oh, gross. A swarm of little white bugs was wriggling around on both my legs.
指の腹にも潰れて2匹、スカートにもソックスの上にも靴と足の隙間にも。
That's what I'd squished between my fingers. But there were many, many more. And they were also on my skirt, on my socks, even inside my shoes. Oh, God, I'd hate to be in your position right now.
パニックを起こして、
I fell
私は虫がいっぱいついている靴を脱いで振りはたいた。
I fell into a state of total panic. I threw off my shoes and began frantically brushing myself off of my arms.
スカートの裾を掴んで、ソックスの端をつまんで、バタバタはたいて虫を飛ばした。
I grabbed the hem of my skirt and collars, and the collars of my socks, and shook the hell out of them too, trying to knock as many bugs off my body as I possibly could. よろけた私はソックスのかかとで赤く濁った水たまりに踏み込んでしまった。 Stumbling
頭が
around,
真っ白になる。
I accidentally planted the heel of my sock into a murky puddle of red liquid. My mind went blank with disgust.
気持ち悪い気持ち悪い気持ち悪い気持ち悪い。
Gross, 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 gross! I can't take this anymore.
落ち着け、落ち着け。ここはきっと屠殺場だ。食用の家畜を解体して食肉にする場所だ。
Calm down, Sayaka. This was just a slaughterhouse. This was just a place where livestock was chopped up into meat. What kind of livestock would get strapped to a bed with straps that is clearly humanoid, with its intended for humanoids with its design? You can be honest with yourself, Sayaka. You are in a literal torture room for humans.
だから自然なんだ。
Although,
部屋の存
I
在
guess
は
it might as well be a
別に不
slaughterhouse
自然
for
じゃない。
humans, though, to be
この
fair.
血は、あの肉片は、あの大きな骨の塊は動物のもの。
It was perfectly natural. There was nothing unusual about this room at all. The blood, the chunks of flesh and bone, probably all just from animals. Okay, we're at 45% darkening. I'm kind of scared to examine anything in this room that could possibly bring her darkening up. Which could be literally anything in here. This is gonna suck.
部屋の至るところに汚れたバケツが置いてある。
Filthy buckets littered the room.
大腿骨のようなものがたくさん刺さっているもの。ブルブルした黄色や白い実のついた
Each one was stuffed
赤
with
黒い肉の塊が詰め込まれたもの。
each one was stuffed with reddish black globs of meat and quivering yellow and white liquid. In most of them, femur-like bones adorned the surface.
直視できないそれらに混じって
But one of them seemed to be a far more horrid stew than the others.
私は見つけてしまった。人間の腕が数本 刺さっているバケツを。
And that's because one of them was full of arms. Human arms. Several of them, jutting out above the bucket lip and practically waving at passers-by. Still think this is just a slaughterhouse for animals?
人は悲鳴を上げるときは意志の力を必要としないんだ。
Screams are strange beasts, because they basically override all sense of logic and reason within a person's mind.
ごく自然に、驚くほどオートマチックに、私の体の奥から、
Quite
お腹
naturally,
の底から悲鳴が絞り出されてきた。
quite automatically in my shock, a scream forced its way out from inside my body, from the very pit of my stomach.
全身の感覚が針のように敏感になっている。部屋の外の通路からかすかに誰かの足音が聞こえたような気がした。
Oh, my senses became razor sharp. I could faintly hear footsteps approaching from the hall outside the room. Oh, come on, I haven't even had time to examine everything else
身が
yet.
キュンと縮んで、出していた悲鳴が途中で止まる。
My stomach tightened, stopping the next scream in my throat.
確かだった。部屋の外の通路を何者かが近づいてきている。足音からしてナホちゃんじゃない。
I was sure of it. In a corridor just outside this room, someone or something was coming this way. And judging by his sound, it sure wasn't Naho.
無意識に情けない声が漏れ出して、私は慌てて口を塞いだ。
Another scream threatened to slip out. I quickly stifled it. The last thing I needed was to give away my position.
どうしよう。近い。
Whoever this was getting closer and closer. I had to act.
外の通路は一本道になっていたから、外に逃げ出すと足音の主に見つかってしまう。隠れてやり過ごすしかないよ。
The hallway outside was just a straight shot, so escaping the room without being seen wasn't an option. Hiding was my only hope. But hiding where? Let's try what I did last time and hide under the blood-soaked table.
大丈夫かな。でも他に隠れる場所もな
Well,
い
last
し。
time from blood covered. Would I really be okay under the table? Not the best choice, but I guess there really weren't too many other
こう
options.
いう時は迷っちゃダメだよね。直感で動こう。
Either way, I couldn't afford to hesitate at a time like this. I had to follow my instincts. You might want to quiet down a bit more. Seriously, could you be any louder with your whimpering and panting?
背の低い机の下に身を潜め、足音が部屋を通り過ぎてくれることを祈る。
Fortunately, the table was pretty low to the ground, so I did have some cover there. Nonetheless, I prayed for the footsteps to pass by without coming in.
だけどよくよく考えると、この部屋の電気をつけたのがこの足音の主なら、この部屋に用があるってことになる。
But then, the person making those footsteps was probably the same person who turned on the light in here. So I didn't honestly hold out much hope.
悪い方に考えると、どんどん頭の中が真っ黒になってゆく。
Rapidly, my thoughts grew darker. Worst case scenarios began flashing through my mind, one after another.
別の生き物のように勝手にカチカチと動く口と、引きつけを起こしたように震える肩を必死に掴んで押さえながら、
I grasped my quivering mouth and violently shaking shoulders in a vain attempt to calm myself down.
私は必死で漏れそうになる声を飲み込んでいた。
I clenched my eyes shut and willed myself to swallow any sounds that threatened to leak out.
なおちゃん、
No. Naho, please, help me. There he is. It's hammer time. He's got fresh blood on his shoes from the looks of it. But what? What's happening?
女の子の苦しげなうめき声。机の上に今誰かが投げ落とされたんだ。
That was the sound of a girl in pain. The man had apparently dropped someone onto the table, and she was either injured or being injured. It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts!
尋常じゃない悲鳴が聞こえる。机の板を挟んですぐ上で。私は恐怖で体がすくんで動けなくなった。
I could hear an unearthly scream from the other side of the table above me. My body became rigid. The darkening still holding. Crap. If he bent down to pick that up, he'd see me for sure. He was a very strange, horrifying creature.
というよりはなんだかよくわからないもの。ゾッとするようなものが入ってきたような驚愕とショック。
He seemed not quite human, but not really anything else either. Whatever he was, I was scared to death of him. As you should be.
いや、確かに人の姿だけど、現実離れした顔も異常に大きな体も私の想像をはるかに超えて恐ろしかった。
On second thoughts, maybe he was human. He just had a grotesque face and an abnormally large body. Not to mention a zombie-like disposition. He was horrifying. I feared as much for my life as any human being can. I was frightened, afraid, terrified. There's no word strong enough. Oh boy. He's got you. Ah! Let me go! Let me go!
足や手をバタつかせて必死に暴れる。でも男の腕の力は強く、びくともしない。
I was flailing my arms and legs and doing everything I possibly could to break free from his grip. But this man was strong as an ox. He wasn't letting go.
掴まれた喉も、もし男が力を込めたら即座に握りつぶされそうな予感があった。
I was fairly certain he could crush my throat with his bare hands if he wanted to. Probably could. Somebody! Anybody! No! Mommy!
男は掴んでいた私の首ごと体を引っ張り、乱暴に部屋の中央に投げ出した。
The man drew me up by the neck and violently threw me toward the center of the room.
喉に集中しているいろんな繊維質がクリッと音を立てて擦れ合う。
It was almost as if he were proving my hypothesis. The tissue and bones in my throat scraped together with a sickening, unnatural sound.
息が詰まって、呼吸する穴も潰れて、意識が飛びそうになった。
I gasped for air. My trachea was in pieces. I could feel my consciousness drifting away. I wasn't sure why, but then he suddenly let out a blood-curdling moan and made a beeline toward the room's only exit.
そして通路に飛び出し振り返ると、出口の重い鉄扉に手をかけた。
As he ran out, he turned around and slammed his hand into the heavy iron door, and it began slowly lurching closed. Wait!
閉じ込められる。瞬間的にそう思った。慌てて出口へ駆け出す私に。
I was locked in. I knew it right away. I ran toward the door as best as I could manage, but I already knew I wouldn't be able to get it open again. Wait, please, help me!
ひっくり返された机の表側に、器具で両手首を固定された女の子が囚われていた。
The girl I'd heard screaming was strapped onto the surface of the now overturned table, dangling helplessly. Please, help! God, no! Open! Open, God damn it! It hurts! It hurts! それから何日経っただろう。 Oh boy, days passed. I must have made the wrong choice.
血の匂いの充満した真っ暗な部屋に再び明かりがつくことは。
Oh wait, days passed, I couldn't even begin to guess how many. No light ever returned to that blood-drenched, pitch-black room.
一緒にいた女の子もずいぶん前から何も喋らなくなった。
And the girl I was trapped with hadn't said a word for a long time.
匂いも寒さも痛みも感じない。
I knew it smelled in here. I knew it was cold, and that I was in pain. But I couldn't sense any of it anymore.
私、生きてるのかな？
Was I alive?
死んでるのかな？
Was I dead?
誰か、ここから出して。
I wasn't sure it even mattered. I just wanted to leave that room. Somebody, please, let me out. My experience failed me. Failed, I say. Shit. Let's try examining this room a little bit more thoroughly this time and save the buckets for last.
大きな観音開きの扉がついた戸棚がある。私くらいなら中に入れそうだ。
It's an enormous standing closet with double doors. Someone my size could most likely fit inside in a pinch. It's absolutely soaked with blood.
たくさんの命が奪われたに違いない。
There's no doubt that countless living things have been killed here. Alright, what about this set of buckets over here?
部屋の至るところに 汚れたバケツが置いてある。
Okay, this looks the
大腿
same.
骨のような。
Okay, so let's not trust my prior experience this time and go with the option that got me killed last time instead. Let's try the cabinet.
足音が迫ってきている。私は部屋の奥の大きな棚の前に駆け寄った。
The footsteps were approaching fast. I ran over to the large cabinet on the other side of the room.
お願い、開いてよ。
Please open.
扉は難なく開いた。しかも勝手に閉じてくれる。
The doors opened without difficulty, but they were the sort of automatically closed and left unattended. Oh well. No time for second guessing now. That's an awful lot of dialogue for just a few spoken lines.
私は後ろを向いて、お尻から体を棚の中に押し込めて、閉まりかけの扉に指をかけ、勢いをつけて引っ張った。
I turned around and jammed myself end first into the closet, grabbing the edges of the closing doors with my fingers and pulling them for all my worth.
狭い棚の中に身を潜め、足音が部屋を通り過ぎてくれることを祈る。
Shrinking my body into the cramped closet, I prayed silently for the footsteps to pass by this room.
だけどよくよく考えると、この部屋の電気をつけたのがこの足音の主なら、この部屋に用があるってことになる。
But then the person making those footsteps was probably the same person who turned on the light in here, so I honestly didn't hold out much hope.
悪い方に考えると、どんどん頭の中が真っ黒になってゆく。
Rapidly, my thoughts grew darker. Worst-case scenarios began flashing through my mind, one after the other.
別の生き物のように勝手にカチカチと動く口と、引きつけを起こしたように震える肩を必死に掴んでなだめながら、
I grasped my quivering mouth and violently shaking shoulders in a vain attempt to calm myself down.
私は目をキュッとつむって、漏れそうになる声を飲み込んでいた。
I clenched my eyes shut and willed myself to swallow any sounds that may otherwise have leaked out.
なおちゃん、助けて。
Naho. Naho, please help me.
扉の隙間から部屋の中の様子がうかがえた。通り過ぎてと願った私の祈りを蹴散らすように、部屋の中に誰かが入ってきた。
I peeked through the gap in the door, and my fears were confirmed. I was no longer alone in this room. 部屋に入ってきたそれは異様なものだった。 The thing that was in here with me was horrible.
人というよりは、なんだかよくわからないもの。ゾッとするものが入ってきたような驚愕とショック。
He seemed not quite human, but not really anything else either. And whatever he was, I was scared to death of him. いや、確かに人の姿だけど、現実離れした顔も、異常に大きな体も、私の想像をはるかに超えて恐ろしかった。 On second thought, maybe he was human. He just had a grotesque face and an abnormally large body, not to mention a zombie-like disposition. He was horrifying. その男は気絶していた様子の女の子を肩に乗せていた。 He had the limp body of a girl tossed over his shoulder.
部屋の中央にあるあの血まみれの机に歩み寄ると、乱暴にその子を投げ落とした。
He walked over to the blood-covered table at the center of the room and violently threw her down onto it. Oh God. It's Naho, not Naho. It's Nana. Nana, thank you. Wait, why am I thinking myself? Ugh.
女の子が苦しげなうめき声を上げて覚醒する。まだ生きているんだ。
Laying out a moan of agony, she came to. My God, she was still alive. Are your legs gone?
ひどい。あの子、両足が太ももから切断されている。なんてことなの。
Her legs have been severed at the thigh, like completely cut off. How could anyone do something like that? So this was basically happening around the same time as the alternate universe tale with Mayu. So does that mean that Class 2-9 is basically in another nexus of heavenly hosts right this minute? While... Yeah, if that's the case, then... Yeah, time really does work really weird in heavenly host. No!
男が女の子の上に馬乗りになって、机についている拘束具のようなもので右腕、左腕と自由を奪っていく。
The man straddled the girl and tied both her arms into metal restraints attached to the table.
待って、何をする気なの？
No. What does he plan on doing to her? He was coming this way. No, no, no. Please, no.
男は私の隠れている棚を通り過ぎて部屋の隅に行き。
The man passed right by the standing closet, instead turning his attention toward the nearby corner of the room where he began rummaging through a toolbox.
工具箱のようなものを乱暴に引っかき回し始めた。金槌や霧などが床に散らばって、女の子の乗せられている机の下にも転がり込む。
He was utterly careless about it, tossing aside any tools he didn't need. Hammers and drills were claying on the ground, with some sliding under the table.
荒い動作でそれを回収する。あそこに隠れていたら、きっと見つかっていた。
Each time a tool fell, he'd bend down and scoop it up. If I had hidden under that table, I absolutely would have been found just now.
やがて巨大なペンチのような器具を持ち出して、女の子の元に戻ると、再び机の上に乗り、体の上にまたがった。
Before long, he pulled out a large pair of pliers. Oh. Are you gonna cut out her tongue? Returning to the girl's side, he once again stepped up onto the table and straddled her body. Yikes.
大きなペンチ。
What is he going to do with those exactly?
男は無言で、必死にもがく女の子の方をわしづかみにし、ギリギリと締め上げる。
Wordlessly, the enormous beast clamped down on the squirming girl's cheek and squeezed with all his might. そして強引に口を開けさせたと思ったら、そこ
こに大きなペンチを差し込んだ。
Then, as far as I was able to determine from my vantage point, he'd forced her mouth open and shoved the pliers inside.
慣れた手つきで素早く両手でペンチの両端を握り直すと、強引に開いて押し込み始めた。
He readjusted his grip on the handle, then skillfully began opening the two metal prongs while simultaneously pushing them down her throat. No, stop! Lord of mercy, somebody please just kill her. Right now.
女の子の舌をペンチで掴むと、男はためらいもなく、そのまま一気に引き抜いてしまった。
Finally, grasping the girl's tongue with his pliers, the man suddenly yanked his arm upward in one single powerful movement, tearing it from her mouth. Oh. 喉から泡の音を立ててしばらくもがいた後、 I heard the sound of her mouth frothing over, and after a moment of squirming, all her movements ceased completely.
気づくと私は涙と一緒に失禁していた。狭い棚の引き戸の中に私の尿が溜まり始める。
That's when I lost it.
これ引き戸から外に流れ出たら。
Tears were streaming down my face, and I began peeing myself uncontrollably. Urine was pooling along the bottom of the cabinet. No! Stop!
お腹に必死に力を込めて失禁を止める。見つかったら殺されると思ったらギュッと止めることができた。
I frantically contracted my stomach, forcing myself to stop peeing. If any of it leaked out from here and gave my position away, I'd be a goner for sure.
お腹の奥が痙攣したみたいに痛む。こんなひどい経験。
My stomach immediately fought this sudden denial with a painful cramp. Please, please don't do this now.
男は足元にあったアルミのバケツに引き抜いた舌を投げ捨てて、さらに手に持ったペンチを工具置き場に乱暴に投げつけると、
The man tossed the severed tongue into an aluminum bucket at his feet, and then roughly threw the pliers back into the toolbox with an ear-splitting clatter.
舌の入ったバケツを持って部屋の外へゆっくりと消えていった。
He grabbed the bucket containing the tongue and slowly disappeared from the room. I think you can resume voiding your bowels now. Not that anybody really wants you to, by the way, but just thought I'd put that out there.
人が死んだ。
Somebody
殺された。
had just died out there.
目の前で起こった恐ろしい出来事に
I was in shock.
私は言葉通り
What
足が抜けてしまった。
I'd seen had literally scared the piss out of me. I didn't think that ever actually happened.
でもこのままいたらまたあいつがやってきて、見つかったら今度こそ殺されるかもしれない。
I had to get out of this room. If I stayed here until he came back, and if he found my hiding place, I could easily be the next one to die on that table.
とにかくここを離れようと、私は棚の戸を開け部屋に出た。
Slowly and shakily, I opened the cabinet doors and re-emerged. I'm just really glad that, at least in your case, it's finally over.
女の子はピクリとも動かない。生きているようにしか見えないのに、マネキンのように動かない。死んでいるんだ。
The girl was still as a board. She almost looked alive. albeit gravely wounded, but her mannequin-like lack of any motion whatsoever said it all.
じっと見ていると、私の脳と心の判断が噛み合わずに気持ちが悪くなってくる。
I stared at this fresh corpse. It just felt so many conflicting emotions welling up inside me.
胃袋の奥から湧き溢れてくる悲鳴を必死に噛み殺して、私はこの部屋を後にした。
I exited the room, flying back more screams from the pit of my stomach that seemed insistent on coming out.
やだ。やだ。なんなのこれ。夢なら早く覚めて。
No. No. What is this place? If I'm dreaming, somebody wake me up, please.
夢かと期待しても覚めない。現実だと理解するには私のリアルを超越しすぎている。
But I knew that it wasn't a dream. I accepted that this place was real, even though it differed greatly from any reality I'd ever known before.
私の脳はだんだんと飽和状態になってきた。物を思考する回路にぼんやりと霧がかかってしまっている。
My brain was quickly nearing its breaking point. A stupefying fog clouded my mind's circuits.
なおちゃん。なおちゃん。助けて。
No. Naho. Help me, please. Where the hell is she, anyway?
何日経っただろう。
Days passed in this sweltering, isolated bunker. I couldn't even say how many.
途中で携帯の電源が切れて、時計も止まって、私の中で時が消えても、ずっとナホちゃんを探し続けた。
My cell phone battery ran out after a while, and my watch died too. I was lost, completely. But I never stopped looking for Naho.
何も食べてない。何も飲んでない。もう何回も眠っているから、きっと数日経っている。
I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't drunk anything. And I'd slept so many times, I couldn't even begin to estimate how long I'd been trapped here.
ポケットには、お母さんがくれたチョコが入っている。でも、これは私とお母さんをつなぐ大事なものに思えて、食べられなかった。
The chocolate my mom gave me was still in my pocket, but I couldn't bring myself to eat it. I felt like it represented an important bond between me and her. Our friendship will last forever. It will never die. Oh. Save me, please. Don't you dare eat that chocolate. I told you not to eat that chocolate, Sachiko. Now I'm gonna find a way to make you repent, whether you want to or not. Number 4, clear. Number 5, Shangri-La. Chapter is now playable. Ayano Yamamoto, Mako, soulful testimonies unlocked in bonus menu. Well, I'm feeling mildly depressed again. Especially because I now know for sure how Nana basically ended up kicking the bucket. And it wasn't pleasant. And I guess we got to see a little, we got to see a little bit of what several characters, we got to see a little bit what Naho was like before everything started literally going to hell. We didn't learn anything more about Kabiki or Taguchi, to tell you, well, we finally got to see Naho's friend Sayaka and a little what she was like and everything before she ended up getting dragged into Heavenly Hosts along with Naho. So, beyond those things, though, I really don't think that Chapter 4 really adds a whole lot to the overall story. And besides just a perspective or just a different perspective or two on some events that we already learned about in Blood Covered. Except, I guess, for the interesting fact that apparently Sachiko is able to leave Heavenly Host and influence somebody like Naho to some degree or another. Now, how far that influence extended besides making her physically ill and damaging her body, I have no idea yet. But that is certainly a very interesting little mystery that Chapter 4 has left me to try and solve, and I'm hoping that maybe a later chapter will do just that. Still, I'm like halfway through this thing, and there's still not even so much of a mention as this Book of Shadows thing. So I'm really wondering, when exactly does this Book of Shadows come into play? No spoilers, by the way. That's not me asking for you guys to tell me anything. And yeah, I guess technically the chapters 1 and 2 don't really add anything either, because they're just basically what-if stories, but at the very least it was interesting to see how some characters reacted to a different take on certain events here, and seeing how their relationships formed from that point. I'm not saying that, and I'm also not saying that, Chapter 4 was bad by any stretch. I just think that, again, doesn't add too much to that we don't already know from Blood Covered. And the actual gameplay segment involved in Heavenly Host is actually pretty damn short. It was mostly, overall, this chapter was mostly just covering the events of Naho, Kabiki, and Taguchi's group going to Heavenly Hosts along with Sayaka being dragged along, but just told from mostly Naho and Sayaka's perspectives. So, I guess we got Chapter 5 to look forward to in the next episode, because I don't think there's any other wrong ends for Chapter 4 that I need to worry about, because I only had the one single choice to make throughout that entire chapter, and well, that pretty much really only gave me one wrong end and one true end. So yeah, Chapter 5. We're going to be starting that with the next episode. So, that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the episode off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next time. Take care.